Hello guys, this is your Uncle Big Fish, and today I'm gonna be telling you guys a little bit of story about my life. There will be about two stories, two different ones, and since I don't really have any clip to play, I will just play a Raven gameplay by King Asher. This is gonna be an outdated one, so I'm quite sure that it won't actually be usable currently, because I think that this is quite an old clip from back in June, where Raven hadn't gotten the big buffs on Wrath of Chaos and all that. So I think it's quite acceptable to be using this old clip, as it's no longer viable to be watched as an example for today's Raven. With that out of the way, let's get into the video. Many years ago, I had a fight with my old man. It was so bad. We were literally like beating each other up. It was just so bad. And the reason was because in case you guys don't know, my family is a very Catholic family. It's a very religious family. They're going to church like 4 or 5 times a week, which is quite crazy. And so they wanted to have a son that is also as religious as they are. And given that I was raised with my Amma as well, so I have a very different way of thinking compared to my parents, who tend to be a lot more religious and all that. I was raised in this way that are a lot more scientific and logical and a lot more realistic, I would say. And so the way I think is completely different from how my parents thought of things, because they will always relate to religion to everything we discuss in life. And so because of that, I had a huge fight with my old man. He told me like he's ashamed of having a son like me. He is ashamed that I was like whatever. I was condemned by a fucking demon or anything. And so I ran away from home. I was really broke, and I ran away to Bali. And what happened was, this is actually a start to how I became an atheist. And what I wanted to walk my own path in life. I wanted to choose my own fate, and I wanted to determine my own destiny. I believe that a person does not need a god to be a good person. I believe that good or bad is completely up to the person itself, and how you view the world and how you treat people around you. So, what happened was, I was really broke because I left home really quickly. I bought the earliest ticket to Bali, and things didn't go well. I had less than $300 in my pocket. I had nothing. I pretty much drank every drop of it. I lost around $250 on the first day, just on booze alone, and I was left with $50. I was just, this is Singapore dollars, yeah. I was just so broke, and I don't know what to do. I had too much pride to go back home. I was just lost. And when you're broke and you got nothing else to do, well, you do bad things. And I used to do a lot of bad things. Let's see. Desperate times come from desperate measures. And I just happened to have the precise skill set for crime. And because of that, let's just say I used to do a lot of bad things in life because of that. But that's not where the story comes from. So the story comes when I went to a bar, and this is probably around 2 months after that incident. I ended up getting quite a good amount of money, and ended up having a pretty decent life in Bali. So I ended up going to a bar, and I met this old man. I still remember this very, very well. It was a very long time ago, but I can still almost remember what he looks like and his voice and all that. He's got this very calming voice, a very deep, calm, soothing voice. One that I can still remember up to this point. So I had this amazing conversation with this old man, and he told me, like, do you know why when you tell people things, people tend not to listen or people rebel? And so I wanted to ask, so I asked him back, why? It's because people hate being told what's right and what's wrong. But people do like listening to stories. So if you change your method of teaching through stories, as if you're creating a tale, you're creating stories, it's gonna be a lot easier for people to accept, and you will tend to get better responses. And when people listen to you, the message will pretty much come across a lot quicker. And so the night goes on, and we will talk about his business, and we'll talk about money and school. And I told him, like, when you're in school, you don't really learn anything, because when you're working after you graduate from school, from university, you're not actually learning anything. You're not really using anything you learn from school, like algebra and like all of this shit. You don't really learn anything. You don't really use them for work. And so I told him, like, I don't think you learn anything in school, to be honest. And what he told me was something I've never really heard before. More like something that people tend to not understand. So what he said to me was, it's not really something you learn in school that you end up using as you work later on, but it's the skill to problem solve is what carries on to whatever you do in life. Like, you might not use you might not use algebra or geometry or all this calculus, but the skill that you learned while trying to problem solve is what carries on. You remember how to problem solve, and that kind of method, that kind of neural pathway, that skill of trying to problem solve is what you ended up using later on for your work. And not just for work, but also for your daily lives. This really opened up my eyes towards what's truly true in this world, and it allowed me to see things from a completely different perspective. It was just a really, really, really good conversation with this old man. And I actually got his number a long time ago, but then my phone got hacked, and let's just say that I don't know where he is now, but a part of me just wants to wish that he's doing well in life. And yep. This is a story of when I was a lot younger and how I learned an important life lesson. This took place quite some time back, as I was having a family vacation to Milan with my mama, my family, and a couple relatives, I would say. Milan is truly a beautiful city. It's got all these old brick houses, hydrangeas of all colors, and it's just got so much history that was left behind, completely intact and visible on every inch of the city. There was just so many colorful paintings and sculptures made since a long time ago that was left completely untouched. And not to mention, beautiful women. Let's might have a few fun sessions there. Let's call it an art session. Yes, I made truly a lot of amazing artworks together with them. Well, a few weeks we spent in Milan. I was actually really growing fond of the place. because it was a very beautiful place, and I really like the vibe. It's just so chill, and like people in Milan tend to be very laid back and very relaxed, I would say. So one day, I was walking alone at night in Chinatown, and I was just chilling. I was just chilling, just minding my own business at a bar, until I saw a really, really hot babe going up the lift, and well, the moment I saw her, holy fucking shit. Asian, smooth, silky skin with a long black ponytail. And not to mention, I remember seeing a pink butterfly tattoo on one of her two perfectly shaped big unga bunga. Ooh la la, bro. Yeah. Okay. I'm getting off topic. Long story short, I went to the lift with her, cause why not, right? I was young and stupid and very horny too. Come on, man. Like, who knows, right? I could get lucky, yeah. So I went in, and cause I was just kind of shy, I just smiled at her and took out my phone and pretend to be on a phone call with someone in Japanese, because why not, right? Japanese is cool. During this time, I was actually taking Japanese lessons, so I knew a few words, not a lot, just a couple things. But the things that I say on the call, the pretend call, was just pretty much equivalent to absolutely garbage gibberish. Yeah, it was just made up words. Those are, yeah. You can't really blame me, man. Like, I was trying to look smart. I was trying to look cool in front of the hot babe, alright? You can't really blame me. I was young and stupid. So, the lift stopped, and as the door opened, she said these 7 words that turned my 16.4 centimeter long erect penis completely flaccid in 1 second. Please learn Japanese properly in the class, okay? Oh shit. This is probably the one time I was so embarrassed that even my whole body felt just utterly disgusted by what I just did. And because of this, I actually ended up learning Japanese and other languages seriously. And I promised myself that day, I am never ever gonna ever fucking pretend to speak a language that I couldn't speak ever again. Cause, oh my god, dude, that was just fucking embarrassing. And it really made me feel shit every time I remember it. I told this story to all my friends, and they would just laugh like shit every time, saying that I got face fucked by a hot babe. And to be honest, this was actually a focal point in my life where I actually find interest in learning languages. I'm quite proud to say that currently, as we speak, I am capable of speaking around 13 different languages, and 7 of them being fluent. The rest are pretty much acceptable for basic conversations, I would say. But yeah, those are pretty much some of the stories that I wanted to share with you guys. I'm quite sorry that I had to script what I'm about to say, because this was actually something that was really difficult to remember, and I actually write down these notes whenever I remember a couple things, like when I was dreaming or when I was like daydreaming. I tend to remember some of my experience, and I would just write it down into this note, which took me quite a while to actually get for this one episode. So I'm very sorry if things sounded a little bit more scriptic. Well, there are just so many shit in my life that shaped me into this Uncle Big Fish that you guys know today. And some of them could be a lesson to many of you. And I'm happy to share these moments with you guys, especially to those who are a lot younger and probably those that needs it. If you guys really like these stories and you want me to make more of them, please do let me know on the comment section down below. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys again very, very soon on the next one. Bye, guys.